Sean Carter was born December 4th, weighing in at 10 pounds, 8 ounces. He was the last of my 4 children, the only one who didn't give me any pain when I gave birth to him. And that's how I knew that he was a special child.
Summer in the city, till it's summer in the city.
They say they never really miss you till you dead or you gone. So on that note, I'm leaving after the song. So you ain't gotta feel no way about Jay so long. But at least let me tell you why I'm this way. Hold on. I was conceived by Gloria Carter and Agnes Reeves, who made love under the sycamore tree, which makes me a more sicker MC. And my mama would claim at 10 pounds when I was born, I didn't give her no pain. Before through the years, I gave her fair share. I gave her first real scare. I made it for birth when I got here. She knows my purpose wasn't purpose. I ain't perfect.
Alright, what's up, man? It's your boy Gambit representing Underground Sound Records. We're about to go to my boy Reg's house. We're gonna mix down some beats and show y'all how the independent music scene is in Lafayette, Louisiana. He's representing Ozzy
Entertainment, baby.
We're going through. Gonna mix down some beats, man. About to go hops on something. Give y'all this little short documentary about what's going on right now, man, with the music industry down here in Lafayette, Louisiana. One love. Show 'em what you working on right now, man.
Just a little something, you know what I'm saying? Playing with this little thing right quick. You know, this little send off for Thor. You know, in case y'all don't know about, you know what I'm saying?
What's that you messing with right there, man? What program is that?
You see it? You know what I'm saying?
Reason 5.0?
You see the rack right there? You know what I'm saying? This shit is fucking sick, bro. So far, I've been working on this right here. Let me cut it down so y'all can hear a little bit more. So far, this is what we've been working on right here.
And what's that you working on right there? What kind of keyboard you got?
That right there, that's just a little MIDI controller, you know what I'm saying? The little Yamaha X49. You know what I'm saying? Just getting the sounds together for this track right here. I like the way that sound right there. Let's see how it go inside the beat. That's too loud right there though. In case y'all wondering where that come from, that come from the Sonic Refills Gold Pack. Ultra Hip Hop Refill.
Ultra Hip Hop Refill, man. Y'all gotta go get them refills, man. You can't be using factory sounds.
So what we're gonna do is we gonna put this in there, and I'm gonna show you what I did for the Tweak It Out. So what I did was, sometimes when you get this shit, it don't sound right. You know what I'm saying? This is how I was sounding at first. In case y'all not too literal with music, you know what I'm saying, it's playing in 16 notes right now. You know what I'm saying? But what I did was, instead of putting in the 16 notes, I put in 30-second notes, so it can move a little bit quicker. Now, what I like to do with my shit, you know what I'm saying, is I come up here, I right click on it, and I create my effects. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that know about Reason know what I'm doing right now, but just in case you don't know, you right click on the empty spaces in the mixer and you can create your little effect. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't put nothing too major on there. You know, I might fill it up with some unison, some delay, some chorus, flanger, and some reverb. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna turn my effects up. Let's see how that sounds. So we're gonna solo this right here. Sound pretty straight. Now let's see what that delay make it sound like. Now we're gonna turn it down a little bit. Throw a little bit of verb on it. Most of these high pitched noises, you gotta turn them bitches down. You know what I'm saying? So it won't be too loud inside your track. Now, it's moving a little bit too fast, so I might cut it back down to 16. See how it sounds. Let's see how it sounds at an 8.
So what you're doing right now is you're pretty much just putting a little background noise. It sounds real loud right now, but you're gonna kind of like tone it out with the rest of the mix.
Oh yeah, ain't no doubt about that. You got to.
See, I like that right there.
I like that too. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how that shit play with it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was looking for right there.
Alright, so go back to that. Let me show them where that on the Thor is right there, where you just did that sequencer. On the bottom of the Thor. I'm going to zoom in real quick. I'm going to show them. See, he took out the little spaces in between. It was all lit up, and it was just going as one steady. Now it goes kind of more with the tempo, and it does a different groove because he took some of it out. You got to tweak everything, huh?
Oh yeah, ain't no doubt about it. You gotta do it until you get it right.
You gotta be a tweak head, otherwise you're just gonna stay with factory.
That's what this program about. You gotta tweak the fuck out of it. You can't just hop into it. And I name all my stuff too because when you got so many tracks, it's easy to lose it. You know what I'm saying? So what we gonna do is we gonna keep that playing and we're gonna let that run like that. And I'm gonna go get some. I'm gonna have this on y'all computer. But this is a real good thing to have. For all these cats that's up here fucking with dirty sound music, you know what I'm saying? Got like a little ATL pack or whatever, and it's a real nice thing to have sometimes. Most people ain't gonna really understand this, so I'm gonna take this out for a second. What I did was, whenever you get samples, what you do is, like, whenever you want to use your sample inside of your sampler, you right click on it and you click on initialize patch. Now you can go find your sample. So whenever I got my ATL pack, it came as a sample. So what I did was I took a pizzicato and I raised the release up to 38. Now what I like to do is whenever I get my pizzicatos, strings or whatever, I raise my effects level up on my strings. So that way it sounds like this. You know what I'm saying? Just some typical stuff. You know, so I'm gonna take that back out. And I'm gonna bring up the one that already custom made. Just showing y'all what I be doing in my shit sometimes. So we gonna go back to it again. Alright, let's get it. Track. Sometimes whenever you go into Reason, you gotta adjust shit. That's a good thing about using delay on some of your stuff. Whenever you use delay, a delay will never lie to you. It'll let you know what the stuff off track and when stuff is on track.
Oh, so what you doing right there? You quantizing it?
Oh, I mean, I could quantize it, but some things you just gotta fix on your own. But if you ever need to quantize something to a certain groove, you can change it up. You can change your quantizing functions right here to 16 notes, 16 triplets, 30 second notes, 30 second triplets, 64, and so on and so forth. I mean, you see it. So, and that's another thing I can show you too, but I'll have to get to that another time.
Nah, I'm gonna get to it, fam. This is just an introduction, little documentary about what's going on, man, and trying to show these cats how to get up on the grind, man.
But this new Reason 5 is sick. They got a mode called block mode, and what that is that for all you Fruity Loops cats, you know what I'm saying, you could put your shit in patterns in block mode. It's 32 patterns you can get into in block mode, and just like how I'm doing right now, you can do all that in block mode, and you can have it already laid out in blocks. So that's where you can sequence. You won't have to sequence like this, but that's something I have to get into another time.
Yep. So you would say. Alright, well y'all heard that. That's my boy Reg right there. We're about to get on and go to my studio. I'm gonna show y'all around, and I'm gonna show y'all the way I built my studio from the ground up. But right now, me and Reg are gonna finish this track. I'm gonna get back at y'all. What's good with you, world? This is your boy Gambit at Underground Sound Records. I'll take y'all on a little tour of my studio. That right there is the AKG 212 and the Sony MDR headphones, pretty standard. Here's some studio foam right here. Right there is my preamp. There's a bookcase. Now you might be thinking, man, this dude's smart. Nah, man, that bookcase right there, I use that to diffuse the sound. Let's take a look at it. Right here is my computer. Hook up Pro Tools. The 2 KRKs. 8-inch speaker studio monitors. There's the other monitor right there. I got a computer with XP because I need that. There's some more studio foam. Right above, more studio foam. Put the light on for it. There we go. Go right there. So come over here, got my turntables. Use those to mix and stuff like that. Got some more studio foam right here. Later on I'm going to do a demonstration on why studio foam is important. It helps you get the acoustics right in your room. Right now I just need y'all to stay tuned. Alright, what's going on, world? So I'm going to show you the importance of having your studio, home studio, professional studio, doesn't matter, with studio foam and have the acoustics treated in your room. This right here is a ping pong. This is going to represent the sound waves that are coming through your speakers and hitting the walls and doing everything else in the room. Alright, so here's our ping pong. I'm going to do a little test. I'm going to throw the ping pong against the wall and everybody knows logically what is going to happen. Bounces off the wall, right? Here's our ball again. Here's my studio foam. What happened to it? Kind of just ducked down. $5,000 kilohertz range, which is more on your higher end. And these right here are what is going to help your sound waves in your room to kind of stay, I guess, in check, so you're not hearing all the different sound waves hit off the wall. If you look, I have them spaced out. I have one right there, one right there, one right there. I have some bass traps. I have that bass trap, and I have a bass trap right there. If you look at the bass trap right there, kind of is spaced out a little bit less than these right here, and then these pretty close together. They treat a different frequency range in your room. I have one right here. And then what the bookshelf does is it acts as a diffuser. That's a cheap diffuser. If you're gonna buy a real diffuser that is engineered to diffuse sound and block sound, it's gonna cost you, you know, in the thousands range to get a good one. So I just got a bookshelf, you know, and that's gonna work for right now. What I'm gonna get into right now is I'm gonna get into this beat that I made in Reason. I'm actually gonna go through 4 different stages. I'm gonna master the beat. And first I'm gonna mix it and I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of Reason. Then I'm gonna send the beat out, master the beat in Pro Tools, and then put it in the song. Back in the song I made some minor adjustments. The kick drum was conflicting a little bit with the bass line in the song, so I'm gonna go into it, make some little minor adjustments, and I'm gonna show y'all a little tutorial of Reason. Actually, I'll close this down. 2 different parts. We have this part right here, which is going to be where your mixer is. Got my equalizers on my kick drum. I combined it. I'm going to show you on a later movie how to do all that and making a beat from scratch and doing all that good stuff. You go down. I got my clap, my snare in the same one. I have all this stuff. Actually, I'll play the beat. As you see, let me zoom in a little bit. See the kick and the snare? Solo it out. That's my kick. You can solo each thing out if you want. This is the mixer. Looks just like a real mixing board. real quiet going on in there. Our bell. Have everything panned a little bit differently. All of it. I'm gonna do right now, press the tab button, it goes into the back. We have all the wires and everything, my stereo imagery putting up there. And reason pretty much you can do anything you want as far as getting it mastered and getting it the way that you want. But I like to take it out and put it into Pro Tools. I have more of a variety of options. So I'm liking how everything is sounding. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up here, export song to audio file, Comrade, save, 24-bit. Right now I'm keeping it in 24 bits. Sample rate 44.1. I'm gonna keep it in 24 bits until I diver it down. Alright, so we're in Pro Tools right now. Putting my beat back in here. And I'm going to show you how I'm mastering it. So, I have my imagery to fix anything I'm going to show you later once I start playing it. It's loading up the clip right now. I have my EQ, 7-band EQ. I have a high pass with it all the way 24 dB octave, which means it's gonna curve all the way down. If I did like this, it's gonna kind of have a different kind of curve, so it's gonna cut out certain frequencies. This one's more abrupt. It's pretty much just gonna take everything out that I'm gonna say it want to take out from 33 kilohertz on. Put it down to like 30. It's safe. I added some to my my 100 range. 100 hertz, 60 hertz, which is kind of your more lower bass. I have a little bit of mids in the 2.34 kilohertz, a little bit in the 6 kilohertz range, and the 14 kilohertz range. Once you add around here past 10 kilohertz, it's going to be more your airy. You don't want to add too much. Pretty much my rule of thumb with EQing anything is if I'm adding anything more than 3 dB, I'm better off probably to actually cut some lower frequencies that kind of go with the harmonics. If you add too much, you're gonna have it too unnatural sounding. Right now, right after the EQ, I have my linear MB EQ, which is in your waves pack if you have a waves pack. I have an L3 maximizer, which is a limiter, and I have an analyzer. I also have an EQ, since there's only a certain amount of sends right there, right here, which is kind of going on the 500 kilohertz, which is in the middle. It's kind of the fundamental. When I was mixing down this mix, I kind of noticed that it was too lacking too much in the middle of the mix. I didn't want to add too much. I just added a little bit. I just added about 0.9 dB. I didn't add too much in the middle, because if you change too much in between the 300 to 500 range to the 1 kilohertz range, it's your fundamental frequencies of hearing right there. Pretty much all your sounds are going to contain a little bit right here. So I don't want to add or take away too much right there, but what it does is it kind of gives it that warm sound in the middle. What we're going to do right now is we're going to play the beat. The linear EQ is going to go play through, and it shouldn't change too much from what I had, because I didn't make too many changes. I have my dither on, auto makeup on the linear EQ. I have it set to multi-electro mastering right here. Setting. That's what I'm going to use. Pretty much I added compression to all the kick drums and snares and everything. I don't add any compression to hi-hats because I think they make them sound too unnatural. I have a pretty good sense of compression. It's not too over compressed. What a linear EQ, linear multi-band compressor does is it compresses certain bands, so you're not compressing the full mix from one band. So if your lows are too low, it's gonna boost a little bit right there, and if your highs are too high, it's gonna take away a little bit of your highs, and your whole master mix has its own band. So what it does is it kind of makes a more of a transparent compression over your whole mix. You're gonna see me in a lot of my videos, you know, show this. You could also use your linear EQ for drums if you want to EQ a whole set of drums. Alright, what I'm gonna go to now, since I have everything pretty much preset, there's not many things that I'm gonna have to change. I'm just doing an overview of everything. Your linear multi-band maximizer, see right here I have it negative 0.5 gain in this area, and I kind of moved it. And what that's going to do is that's going to take away from all right here, these frequencies going right here from 16 hertz to 32 hertz almost. And it's just going to take away the air that's in the lower end of your harmonics. And why I do that is so whenever my speakers are hitting, it's not just coming out air. If you ever notice, like a lot of bassy tracks, it's just going to come out to where it's going to have more of a clear mix. Other than that, I don't really mess with it. I've messed with it before. I put the dither on and the quantization to 24 bits because I'm keeping everything in 24 bits right now until I take out the finer master. Shaping to ultra. What that is that shapes the noise of what the limiter is going to do whenever it gets too close. The main thing for a limiter is this threshold right here in the ceiling. You set this to where it's only going to go, it's going to peak up to -2. Anything above 0 in the binaries code, it's not going to understand it. So you don't want anything in your mix to peak whenever you're mastering anything. Right now I'm just kind of mastering the mix. I want to get the beat nice and loud, you know, to where the vocals sit nice in the beat. I don't want to make it too loud to where I kind of I take that into the analyzer, and I'm seeing right here it's at -6, which is pretty, it's not low, it's pretty good. I used to do it at 1.5 RMS, which is this meter right here. These are your regular meters right here. I have it on peak to detect peaks. And right now, you know, if it was to peak, the little red button would come right here. Let me zoom in. Pretty much in Pro Tools you have all your little channels. Right now I have just the master channel. This is the master auxiliary channel right here, the fader. That's controlling anything that's in the mix. If you had this on channel, let's say that the beat was right here, there would be red right here if it was peaking, but it's in a nice level right here. I'm gonna give you some overhead in the mix to make it louder. Overhead for the mix means pretty much you have room to make it louder. And then whenever I get into my mix with my vocals and everything, I'm gonna show you later what that means. And how loud you want your mix before you take it to get mastered. You want to go back to linear EQ right here. We have your threshold for each band. Right here. These right here are the thresholds. Dither on, all right there. That was what I was talking about earlier. Master. What you're gonna do is you see how this one says 14.2 and this one says 14.1. That's pretty much what I thought. It wasn't gonna do too much because all I did was change these ranges right here in the mix, which is 16 to 250. That's the only thing I changed pretty much whenever I was mixing it down this time. So you're not gonna have much change in the mix, and that's how you know. So I'm gonna change each one. You do that right after you play the song. So after you get that ready, you're going to go ahead and export it. So you're gonna go ahead and export it. You're gonna go to bounce, to disk, convert after bounce, keep resolution in 24-bit, convert after bounce. This is just what I do. So I already have Come Ride right here. I have Come Ride beat, so what I'm gonna do is just put beat so I know this is the mastered version of the beat. And it's gonna go ahead and play it all over again. Alright, so we got our mix for our beat down. Right now we're going back into my mix for Come Ride. And pretty much what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to mute out the beat that I just mixed down. I'm going to listen to the vocals. Especially the hook. I was listening to it earlier in the car and I kind of wanted to make some minor adjustments. Alright, so we got my hook all mixed down and everything.
Do you wanna come ride with me? Look fly with a G. You can recline your seat and sit back on the leather, get back on the level. Me and you do it together. We fly with no feathers.
Pretty much what I want to do is make sure that the main vocal up top, and it kind of comes out here on my second take for the hook right here. I want to make sure that they're loud enough to where you can hear it over the overdubs and everything. So I'm just going to take a little bit, like I said, mix. Everything's pretty much done with the song. I'm just making minor adjustments and giving y'all something like an overview of how things are ran and how we kind of just run through projects. Right here, I'm going to show y'all is the bus. I have it set to bus 16. I have the hook set on one bus and I have my verses on another bus.
Do you wanna come ride with me? Look fly with a G. You can recline your seat and sit back on the leather, get back on the level. Me and you do it together. We fly with no feathers.
Alright, so we got the hook, and then we got the verses right here.
Do you wanna come ride with me? Look fly with a G. You can recline your seat and sit back on the leather, get back on the level. Me and you do it together. We fly with no feathers. Do you wanna come ride with me? With all this leather and grain, no need to be decisive, please. Not asking you to be my wife, you free. Just get inside of the LSV8. Please pass my license, please. Flipping with women, dipping for dividends to get rich and trying to stick my stick shift in your kitten. I could be a Mr. Officer, now assume the position. You presumed I was tripping when I said that these are S-class diamonds. Got a fetish for styling. You can see those invisible sets shining. Now that you see they real, you say I'm the best that's rhyming. We in the car momentarily, but I'm about to have your legs spread grinding. Clothes all over the flow, my third leg.
Right. So I'm making my little minor adjustments to the overdubs. Alright, and I want to come down. I'm going to show you my buses and how I have everything processed as far as the vocals go. First thing, I put a gate. Zoom in a little bit. Alright. So what your buses do is it sends it out. Alright, there we go. And I got my gate right here. Pretty much what a gate does is blocks out all the frequencies. Pretty much anything that's lower that is not picking up on the decibel scale below around the 50, negative 50 range is going to cut it out of the vocal completely.
Please pass my license, please. Flipping with women, dipping for dividends to get rich and trying to stick my stick shift.
Then I have a de-esser. I have a EQ. I have another EQ starting off. I have this bus right here. I have this bus right here linked to this bus. Then I have that bus linked out to this one and into the mix completely. So I got a compressor after this EQ. I have my settings. I'm going to do another tutorial on pretty much mixing your track and doing everything. Since this is everything pretty much done, you know, there's not a lot I can really say about it, but I'm going to go into it briefly. I have another de-esser at my last bus because I'm adding some more frequencies after I compress it and do everything. And I want to take some of the more of the sibilants out, like the S and the S and the anything with S and other kind of things that have sibilants in your vocals. It kind of, whenever you're recording, the mic picks up something that's different. That in our ears, actually, we have natural compression in our ears, and we don't hear that. But what the mic picks up is different. It picks up a different frequency response. So anything that you're putting into the mix that you don't want, you want to take out. And you don't want to add too much EQ, or you don't want to add too much compression. You don't want to add too much DS. You know, you don't want to add too much reverb. It'll make your mixes sound too muffled. So all these things, you know, you want to use into consideration. You don't want to overproduce your album. But I like to add a light de-esser at the end. So anything that I've added in on the highs to make the vocals more clear, it's going to make sure that there's not too much coming in.
Please pass my license, please. Flipping with wind, dipping for dividends to get rich and trying to stick my stick shift in your kitten. I could be a Mr. Officer, now assume the position. You presumed I was tripping when I said that these are S-class diamonds. Got a fetish for styling. You can see those invisible sets shining. Now that you see they real, you say I'm the best ass rhyming. We in the car momentarily, but I'm about to have your legs spread grinding. Clothes all over the flow.
Alright, so I forgot to say about this limiter. I have a smack limiter on here, and I don't have it set up too high. I kind of just give it to make the vocals pretty warm. I like the way that one pretty much, it makes the vocals warm for me. I like the way that limiter is, but I can't really push the vocals to the extent that I want to. So whenever I have it set out to this de-esser, I have after that another limiter that I like is the L2. And that pretty much takes it as loud as I want.
Please pass my license, please. Flipping with women, dipping for dividends to get.
Alright, so we got our mix the way that we want it sounding. And right now I got a master bus on this one. You see I have the audio volume down to 3.5. I load everything down because I don't want my mix to be too high whenever I take it down to get mastered. And what I'm doing right now is I'm bouncing everything to a disc. The whole mix. Pretty much taking everything out. Same thing as we did earlier, 24-bit. Let this play out. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this mix that I have and put it in another little program that I have before I take it back into Pro Tools. And I'm going to master it in Pro Tools. This next program is called Hardball, which pretty much means harmonic balance. But that's the name of the program. And it's a program, actually the guy who mastered one of my first projects, I'm pretty sure he made it. He had something to do with it. I look at the credits and his name's there. I'm pretty sure he made it. I'm sure he had some help. But he made this program that pretty much balances out all your harmonics in your mix. And what that does is it gives you a good tone. The way that he has the EQ set up in there, it's a different kind of EQ, and I'm going to show you when we get in there. But pretty much what it is make sure that your whole harmonics of your mix are right. You want to get that right to where whenever you get your stuff sounding loud, you're not having any conflicting, you're not having any frequencies pretty much that are blaring too loud in the mix. And then later on I have other EQs that I use whenever I'm mastering. But what that does is it kind of sets the stage for my master to be pretty good, the mix to be good. And I actually, there's other things that you can do. You can actually limit it and do everything that you want in there. But like I said, I like my options open. And pretty much after that, I take it into Pro Tools, and we're going to get into that. But you could set what you want on your hardball, and when we get in there, I'm going to explain further. You could set it to another master of another industry, commercial, radio, CD, or any kind of song that you have. You have to put it in wave and put it in there. But it'll analyze the frequency spectrum of that, and you can mimic that by pretty much making your own little filter. And then once you apply the filter to it, and I have a filter saved for Come Ride, the song that we're working on, and the filter pretty much it gives it a tonal balance, and you can apply that filter to the whole CD to give it that even sound that you're looking for whenever you're mastering. Alright, so we got the mix that we just mixed down in Pro Tools, and I put it into Hardball, and right now I'm opening up the filter that I previously had for it. And what you got right here is you have your mix and your frequency spectrum. Let me see if I can go back. Alright, so here's no filter right here. Let me see if I can. Alright, so you see you kind of have more of it, just kind of sporadic, not smooth. You see your peaks and valleys and your frequencies and everything. And what we're going to do is we're going to smooth all that out of the harmonics in between frequencies. Open up the filter. Now it's more smooth. You want it balanced, you know what I mean? Alright, and we're gonna press record. Record just kind of exports it out, kind of like how we've been doing in Pro Tools. That should only take a second. Right now I'm going to go into my Pro Tools template that I have from this song. I have an EQ. I have a high pass. And if I didn't explain clearly, a high pass pretty much blocks out all the low frequencies. The best way to remember it is high pass equals low cut. Low pass equals high cut. And you're going to pretty much take the frequency out. I also have a low pass on the 15 kilohertz range. Up here on the EQ is where you go in that, and you can adjust all that. Pretty much why I do that is to keep some of the lowest lows, some of these unwanted frequencies that I don't want in the mix before I put a limiter on and make it loud. I have one more EQ that I use in Ozone, which is one of the programs that I use to master. I do a little bit in Ozone, I do a little bit in T-Rex, and I analyze everything through waves. Oh, excuse me, Jesus Christ. Alright, so close this out. Frequency response. I'm going to save my frequency response. I'm gonna load up what I just exported, and I'm gonna continue to explain everything while this loads up. I have another linear EQ, pretty much the same thing, you know, that we were explaining earlier for the beat. It's the same thing, except you're doing it to the whole mix. Here's Ozone. It's a pretty damn good program. I have all the different things. You can use a template, but my best suggestion in using templates is that you want to use a template if you want to get a roundabout estimate of what you want it to sound like, but at the same time you don't want to use the template to the fullest. You want your own sound. So saying that you want your own sound, you want to make sure that you adjust everything to what the audio is. Whatever dynamics you have in the song, maybe the template won't pick up. That's the best way I can explain it. You know, and there's all kinds of different ways you can do it. You can start from scratch if you know what you're doing. You know, that's pretty much what I do now. But I started off with templates to see what these pros are doing. They don't set up templates in Pro Tools for no reason at all. They have people that sit around, engineers sit around, and musicians sit around. We want this to sound this way, and they develop all these different plugins, and that's how they develop them. So it's not like they don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. So you want to use that knowledge, but at the same time you do want your own sound, and that's only going to take you so far. Just because you use a bunch of templates on EQs and de-essers and everything doesn't mean it's going to work. Me and my boy Scrap are working on an album. His voice is totally different than mine, so I can't use the buses that I route his vocals out through mine. I have to do his own. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the song the same way as we did the beat. It's going to pretty much, it's going to have to analyze everything and see how you want to compress it. But since I haven't changed too much, you know, I'm just going through a roundabout and showing y'all how it's done. You know, it's not going to be too much. So, right here in Ozone, you know, I have a
Do you wanna come ride with me? Look fly with a G. You can climb your seat.
I have pretty much just the parametric EQ and the loudness maximizer and the harmonic exciter. But I have the harmonic exciter set really low. Really low settings, because if you use too much in a harmonic exciter, it's gonna make your mix completely too, it's gonna make it way too bright. It's gonna cut your ears. Right here, this is T-Rax. I have one limiter that I'm using, so I'm not using too much of both programs. I'm using what I like through both programs. I'm not gonna try to overproduce everything. I like the meters in T-Rax. It's very, you know, it's all right here. You have your chain. If I wanted to set up my EQ right here and do it right here, I can do it all through T-Rax. Right here you see I have a nice wide mix. You see it pumping from left to right. You see it going straight up and down whenever the kicks hit. That means that my kicks are coming in mono, and that everything else, you see how it's turning around? Because all the instruments are panned a certain way. That means I have a nice stereo image mix, and that's what you want. You don't want it just flat the whole time. You want some dynamics. Right here is your parametric spectrum. You can analyze each frequency. I also have my pass, which is another analyzer for your spectrum. I have it down here. Same thing pretty much that it has in there. It's just analyzing everything, seeing how loud it is, your RMS. Pretty much you want to get it to about -9 RMS. Which is right here. Zoom out a little bit. It says perceived loudness. You don't want it too much louder right here. You want it right here in the green. I'll just let that metaphor resonate as I continue to pimp my pen and make these letters pay.
I'm
gonna turn it up pretty loud right now.
Look twice when the chrome and metals in they face. Do you wanna come ride with me? Look fly with a G. You can recline your seat and sit back on the leather. Get back on the level. Me and you do it together. We fly with no feathers. Do you wanna come ride with me? Look fly with a G. You can recline your seat.
Alright, and another way to tell, if you're looking at this right here, you see this correlation? It's going right in between +1 and 0. You don't want it going in a negative. That's antiphasing. So it's nice right here in the middle. It's you know, it's a wide stereo image. You want some dynamics. You want your shit to sound full, you know. And so I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna let the song play from start to finish. And since I changed the kick earlier when we were in Reason, see, this is affected again from what I had my settings to earlier. I made my kick a little bit louder because I wanted to stand out from the bass line. I didn't want the bass line to be I didn't want my bass line to overtake the kick. So we're looking at the linear EQ. We changed everything. Listen to it again, see the changes. It's very transparent, the linear multi-band compressor.
Do you wanna come ride with me? Look fly with a G. You can recline your seat and sit back on the leather. Get back on the level. Me and you do it together. We fly with no feathers. Do you wanna come ride with me? With all this leather and grain, no need to be decisive, please. Not asking you to be my wife, you free. Just get inside of the LSV8. Please pass my license, please. Flipping with women, dipping for dividends to get rich. And
So I like the way everything sounds. I'm gonna export it right now. I'm gonna bounce it. And I'm gonna listen to it in the car. I'm gonna see what it sounds like, man. I'm liking the way the mix is coming out. Bouncing it to resolution of 16 bits. Before I do that, I'm gonna show you this. I have everything right here set to 24 bits, but at the very end, I have on my master bus, I have my dither set to 16 bits because I'm dithering it down to 16 bits. I do that pretty much because you want it to be at 16 bits. I mean, I can do 24 bits. It really just matters what you want. Right now, I'm just doing it in 24 bits. Your dither pretty much is all the bytes, that those 8 bytes left that you don't have. It's going to create some kind of, I guess, white noise that you're gonna have in your mix that kind of makes it give it some character. That's the best way I can explain it. Alright, so we bounced everything. I showed y'all how I tweak everything in Reason. We mixed it down in Reason. I showed you how to mix down your beats in Reason. I put that in there in Pro Tools, and then I mastered it. Showed y'all how to master in Pro Tools if you have some Waves plugins. Then we went and we put it back into the mix, mixed down our vocals with the beat and everything, and showed y'all how to do it, and then mastered the whole song. Put it in Hardball before we mastered the song, part of the mastering process, and then mastered the song. That song will be available on ReverbNation.com. www.reverbnation.com/MC Gambit. So if you go check that out, man, I got all kinds of free downloads, updates. If you go on Twitter, follow me on @Gambit337. Check me out on SoundClick, Beats by Gambit. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube account, 337 Gambit. Pretty much, you know, I'm gonna be dropping these videos every so often on YouTube in the next couple months. Hopefully I'll get a couple out. You know, a couple of me making beats and mixing beats and showing y'all from scratch what to do in Reason. I don't really mess with Fruity Loops anymore. I mess with Reason, man. But pretty much I'm gonna do tutorials on each thing that I showed y'all today. I'm gonna show y'all how to drop songs, how to mix songs. So just get at your boy, man. I'm out. Behalf on Underground Sound Records, this is yours truly, Gambit, and I'm out.
Come ride with me, look fly with a G. You can recline your seat and sit back on the leather, get back on the level. Me and you do it together. We fly with no feathers. Do you wanna come ride with me? With all this leather and grain, no need to be decisive, please. Not asking you to be my wife, you free. Just get inside of the LSV8. Please pass my license, please. Flipping with women, dipping for dividends to get rich and trying to stick my stick shift in your kitten. I could be a Mr. Officer, now assume the position. You presumed I was tripping when I said that these are S-class diamonds. Got a fetish for styling. You can see those invisible sets shining. Now that you see they real, you say I'm the best that's rhyming. We in the car momentarily, but I'm about to have your legs spread grinding. Clothes all over the floor, my third leg all up in your hole. It's Gambit, but these hoes call me Gam Gam. I drop kicks like Van Damme and drop chicks that demand grams. See me stopping the whip, you know the damn plan. Do you wanna come ride with me? Look fly with a G. You can recline your seat and sit back on the leather, get back on the level. Me and you do it together. We fly with no feathers. Do you wanna come ride with me? Look fly with a G. You can recline your seat and sit back on the leather, get back on the level. Me and you do it together. We fly with no feathers. These rappers claim they ballin', they ain't got no call. They sound like AT&T, they have no balls. Can't complain, life's been amazing so far. It's young Mozart, I'm a fool with them keys. I'm a hungry motherfucker, I'll consume the beat. Don't argue with your gal around me or I will do you freak. Realest motherfucker in the building, can't confuse, it's me. They wanna switch jerseys when they realize they on the losing team. But our jerseys don't fit fake, I think Scrap 2 would agree. Y'all boys ain't bout shit, I'm the septic tank. Got love, homie, I don't never hate. Go against underground sound is like heaven's gate. Did you get that? I'll just let that metaphor resonate as I continue to pimp my pen and make these letters pay. Pearl white paint look like confetti, faking boppers look twice when the chrome and metals in they face. Do you wanna come ride with me? Look fly with a G. You can recline your seat and sit back on the leather, get back on the level. Me and you do it together. We fly with no feathers. Do you wanna come ride with me? Look fly with a G. You can recline your seat and sit back on the leather, get back on the level. Me and you do it together. We fly with no feathers.